not. It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness!
When it comes to lagging muscle groups, it really is nothing like calves. Small calves give that chicken leg appearance that no one really likes, as well as the fact that calves are probably the most annoying and stubborn muscle group in the entire body. For some people, they just don't grow. So then, some people decide, you know what, I'm gonna hit calves. Yo bro, what do you do for calves? 3 sets of seated calf raises at the end of a leg day. Really bro? Yeah. Won't my calves grow, bro? So that might be you. In order to fix that, here's a video on how to train calves. So there are 2 main calf muscles, the gastroc and the soleus. The gastroc is the more aesthetic one, since one, you can see it much better since it's on top of the soleus, as well as the fact it responds to training far more than the soleus. The gastroc actually crosses 2 joints, the heel joint and the knee joint. It controls plantar flexion, bringing your feet upward, as well as knee flexion, bringing your leg inward. Although it does control knee flexion to a much lesser extent than plantar flexion. If you listen to pure EMG activation, which I think EMG is a little flawed, but overall it's not a terrible idea, then you should do the donkey calf raise. In order to perform it, you need to bend over, grab your hand on something for support, and then put your toes on a slightly elevated surface in order to emphasize a stretch, which causes much more growth. And then boom, you're doing a donkey calf raise. There's of course the bodyweight version of this. There's also the weighted version where you can put a dumbbell and plate on your back. But to be quite frank, it's a little difficult since for one, you need a balance which reduces total loading, as well as the fact you need a partner to put the load on, as well as for them to watch to make sure it doesn't actually fall off. So it does get a little inconvenient. There's also the Smith machine variation, which is with the barbell on your lower back, which is also pretty good. Although classical bodybuilders did do it, in my opinion, it's just an okay exercise. Not bad, not good, kind of just okay. In my opinion, the standing calf raise in this very large number of variants is by far the best calf exercise. Before I get into any of them, this applies to all of them. Make sure you put your toes on an elevated surface since it increases the stretch, and pause at the bottom since it also increases the stretch and therefore increases the growth. If you don't do it, it's not going to see any growth at all, but much more diminished as compared to if you did do it. First up, we get the standard barbell calf raise, which overall I think is actually really good, although it does have some limitations. In order to get the stretch that I mentioned earlier, you need to place something that pushes your toes upward, and since you need to do a walkout on a barbell calf raise, that might be a little awkward, but ignoring that, overall it's a great exercise that will require quite a lot of heavy loading. What will require even more heavy loading is a Smith machine calf raise, which, although it does get a lot more criticism, in my opinion it's actually better than a barbell calf raise, so you don't need to walk out, and therefore it's not much awkward to do properly. There's also the dumbbell calf raise. With both legs, it's kind of just okay. Since for one, it requires extremely heavy loading that although a barbell and split machine can provide, dumbbells really can't because rarely does your dumbbells go high enough and your forearms might begin to fatigue. Since your grip might give out. But if you do a single leg, it's actually amazing. Just one, it requires less loading, although it does require a bit more balance, which could be an issue. There's also the calf extension machine, but since it's a seated calf variation, it's not going to target the gastroc and target the soleus much more. Since the soleus doesn't respond to growth as much as the gastroc does, you can make a very fair argument that it's not as good, although in my opinion, it's kind of more in the middle. Pretty much all other seated calf raise variations are pretty mediocre. It's not like they're bad or anything, but since they target the soleus much more, and as I said earlier, the soleus doesn't respond to growth as well as the gastroc. When it comes to non-calf raise exercises for calves, they're all really just pretty bad if I'm being honest. They're not bad exercises. In fact, all of them are actually really good, just not for the calves. The squat doesn't target the calves really at all. Neither does the Bulgarian Split Squat. The leg curl does a little bit, but again, not very much. And pretty much every other squat variation barely targets the calves. And for people who don't really have the greatest calf genetics, they won't be enough. Overall, since the calves are a smaller muscle, as well as the fact they're positioned in a place that don't really cause much damage during hypertrophy training, you can hit them much more often and go to failure much more often. You can hit them as much as 3 times per week with at least 1 rest day in between, as well as I choose about 1 exercise in which you have 3 sets to failure, or 2 exercises so you have 2 to 3 sets per failure. And that's pretty much it. First of all, I want to thank you for watching. and it's pretty much cliche, but be sure to like and subscribe, as only 5% of you are actually subscribed. Overall, it's just not that low, actually. But still, I'd like you to like and subscribe, but overall, it's your choice. If you want to see more of this content, do so. But thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Check out my new favorite channel. It is so good. Oh my god. Look at it.
Your Fuhrer has no prize.
We have found the secret knowledge on how to grow calves. What? No way. Sir, I have a bad feeling about this. Nonsense. I think you are just scared. Don't look. It's forbidden knowledge. No one knows how to grow calves. They must die if they open it. Sir, I think you've made a mistake. Stop being uncoward. Boo.